So you're doing your research, you're trying to figure out if you should move to San Antonio or not. You're trying to just figure out what there is to do, what's kind of going on, what is the 411 on everything there is to know about San Antonio. Well, look, I'm gonna go over the 14 reasons you should not move to San Antonio, Texas. Stay tuned, it's coming right now. Hey guys, this is Carlos and
Eric.
We're with the Neil and Neil team right here in San Antonio, Texas. We're local realtors, and if you want to learn everything there is to know, including 14 reasons not to move to San Antonio, Texas, then click the subscribe button and hit the bell so you're notified every time a new video comes out. Now guys, we get a ton of calls, emails, texts from people who are coming to San Antonio, moving here, relocating, just coming to visit, whatever it may be, and we absolutely love hearing from you guys. Now, if you got a question for us, give us a call, shoot a text, send us an email, whatever you want to do to get in touch with us. We definitely got your back when you move here to San Antonio, Texas. All right, guys, so let's jump into it. The reason why you're here, the top 14 reasons why you should not move to San Antonio, Texas. So the first one on the list is traffic. Tell us a little bit about traffic, Eric.
Okay, traffic. So one of the reasons why you should not move here is because of the traffic. You're gonna have it ongoing all the time, every day. And that's just the way it is.
Traffic in here in San Antonio is just like any other city. You're gonna get the traffic jams at rush hour, driving to work in the morning. You're gonna have to leave a little bit earlier just because there's traffic in those huge busy times of days. But look, if you're coming from California, San Francisco, LA, Oakland, anything like that, you're not gonna be in the same type of traffic as you are over there where you're sitting in traffic for like an hour or two. It might be an hour commute, but you're not gonna be sitting there for long periods of time. So it's not a bad thing. I personally hate traffic, but either way, it's not gonna be as bad as it would be if you're in one of these other cities. So yeah, number 2 on our list is actually the heat. So being here in San Antonio, being here in Texas in general, it's gonna be hot pretty much year round, but there's really 2 to 3 months where it's like really, really hot, which is like July, August, September, where the temperatures get close to 100. But you know what? It's really not too bad. I'm a realtor, so I'm always outside. I'm always showing properties. It's not like it's super humid like over in like Georgia or Louisiana, so you're not gonna die out there. Just drink some water, make sure you're hydrated, and you'll be fine in the heat. You'll get used to it after time. To be honest, it doesn't even bother me anymore. But if you don't like the heat, you probably don't wanna come here, but at the end of the day, it's really not that bad.
All right, next on our list is number 3, bugs. So we have a high humidity over here, so you're gonna get a lot of water bugs, mosquitoes, and that's pretty much the norm around the rainy season. So that happens quite often. Every year you're gonna have to expect it. However, it's not as bad as other places I've traveled, such as Florida, Louisiana, Georgia. Those places, they have some pretty big mosquitoes. They're like hummingbirds.
Yeah, when I was in the Navy, I was actually stationed over in Georgia and Florida, and man, they have some like sand fleas and huge mosquitoes. So we definitely have those bugs, but it's not as bad as over there. All right, number 4 is public transportation. So if you're coming from a place like Seattle, New York, Chicago, where there's monorails and trains that go everywhere, we don't have that here. We don't really have a ton of public transportation. We have V-Bus, which is this transit system that kind of takes you around the city, but it takes a really long time to get to your destination. Sometimes a 20-minute drive will take you like an hour, 45 minutes or so. But if you really love the public transportation, we don't have that. However, we do have Uber, we do have taxis, we have Lyft. So if you're not really wanting to buy a car and just want to use those systems, there's definitely things in place. It's just not the best in the world.
All right, so number 5 on our list are gun laws. Over here, if you're not familiar with guns and if they intimidate you and everything like that, that goes with that, it's just not the place for you to come. However, if you're an enthusiast and if you want to go ahead and protect your family, you have that option, and you can do open carry here if you like as well. I would recommend coming over here because you're going to find a lot of recreation around that. And also, you can go ahead and do concealed carry without a concealed carry license.
Yeah, I think that law just came out like 2 weeks ago. I personally like it, some people don't, but if you're not into that, just know that that is a thing here in San Antonio. So just if you see people that might have a gun on them, just be advised that they're there to protect you. They're not gonna just carry around a gun just, it's not the Wild West. But they did put that law into place maybe about 2 weeks ago. So not a big gun person, just keep that in mind.
And keep in mind, like if they were to go ahead and restrict guns here, bad guys, they don't care about laws either way. If they're gonna carry it, they're gonna carry it whether it's illegal or not. So I would rather be able to protect my family regardless.
Yep. All right, that brings us to number 6, allergies. I know you might be saying, I don't have allergies, like I don't have to worry about that, but down here in San Antonio, they have these cedar trees that put off this pollen that, man, those allergies, they almost mess with everybody. I didn't really have too many allergies growing up. I'm originally actually from Mississippi, so they didn't really have that many cedar trees out there, but here in San Antonio, even if you didn't have them wherever you're coming from, just be prepared. At some point, you'll probably hit with allergies. The good thing is you can walk into our local H-E-B grocery stores and pick up some off-the-shelf medicine for Texas cedar fever, which really works pretty well. So if you get those allergies, there's definitely a solution, but just be prepared. You might be sneezing, you might be coughing a little bit, and maybe crying a little bit, but it's not too bad.
All right, so let's talk about number 7, weather. We have a rainy season around April, June, which comes and goes. You never know with the Texas weather. It's bipolar to say it does. One day it'll be super rainy, one day it'll clear up, and it'll be sunny and rain be falling down as well. So that's something to be expected. So you gotta have like an umbrella, a winter jacket, and something light to wear inside your vehicle at all times because that weather can change throughout the day. Weather can also be impactful as far as like the cold months here. If we get a slight freeze, our city is going to shut down. We're not like the north where they have it like on top of it, like go ahead and put salt on the road so you can drive. But over here, you're going to get shut down. The only positive about that is just for the kids, they're going to love those snow days and they're going to get quite a few of them without snow.
Yeah, we get snow days when it gets a little bit of ice because we just don't know how to drive. Well, people don't know how to drive in that type of weather. Like in February this past year, we had a huge shutdown for like almost a week and a half. We lost electricity, some people lost water. The weather is not that bad that often, but when it does, we just don't know how to handle it. We're getting better, but as of now, we don't know how to handle it. So if you're used to the weather, you might benefit from it because if you're coming from like Chicago or Michigan or somewhere where it happens all the time and you drive in it all the time, you'll be ready.
Yeah.
But again, it only happens like once every like 10 years. All right, that brings me to number 8. Getting off the topic of weather is the beach. So if you love the beach, you love being right there by the water, those sandy beaches, well, don't come here. Our closest beach is about 2.5, 3 hours away down in Corpus Christi, Texas. And to be honest, the beach is not the nicest if you're coming from like Florida or California where the beaches are gorgeous. We can go down further south to South Padre Island and they have a beautiful beach down there, but that's gonna be like 5.5 hours away. So if you truly love the beach, not the best thing, but if you like just fishing, hanging out at the river, going to a lake, we got those in like 30 minutes away. We actually have some pretty good fishing lakes right here in San Antonio, like Calaveras Lake, Bronick Lake. But as mentioned, like 45 minutes away, they have Canyon Lake, which is probably one of the nicest lakes in the area, but no beaches, sorry.
And if you're a surfer, forget it. The waves are only like 3 feet tall.
Yeah, I never surfed. I can't even get on one of those, what are they called? Little boogie boards?
All right, number 9. If you do not like a booming city, this is not the place for you. We have tons of commercial development, lots of like, associated traffic when that comes as well. But the good thing about that is that there's gonna be plenty of jobs. There's tons of hospitals coming up, which you're gonna be real close to medical field if you need to get like an emergency help or anything like that. Those are popping up all over the place. So the city is actually doing very well as far as like the amount of people coming in to go ahead and take care of them.
Yeah, our economy really wasn't hurt too bad when COVID and everything shut down because we got so many new jobs popping up, so many new construction. It's just gonna keep expanding. So if you don't like expansion, if you don't like the city growing, of course this is not a place for you, but if you're looking for growth, you're looking to start a new career, you're starting to get a new field, definitely come to San Antonio because there's so many things going on, especially with the developments here. So that brings me to number 10, which is diversity. So if you don't like diversity, this is definitely not the place for you. So with the expansion of the city, people moving into San Antonio, you're gonna get people from all walks of life. So just in my neighborhood, I've met so many people that I thought I would never meet. People that come from different cultures, people come from different states, people come from all over. This is a big military city, so a lot of people come, they get stationed here, they love it, they move into the city. So if you don't like just meeting a lot of different people, seeing a lot of diverse communities, then yeah, this is not a place for you. But if you do, you want to meet different people from all walks of life, you're going to get more than your fair share of people all around San Antonio, no matter where you live.
All right, so number 11, road construction. Since I was a little kid living here, the roads have always been under construction. There's a highway or a road called 1604 that goes around the city. That has been under construction and expanding since I can even remember. That's how fast the city is growing. Now, see, talking about those allergies. However, the good thing about the road construction is that it is actually expanding. It's trying to keep up. There's like overpasses that are coming up like in the next couple of years. I've been seeing over and over again. So it kind of helps out. So it feels like a breath of fresh air when all of a sudden those exit and entry ramps are just popping up for the major highways.
All right, the number 12. So a lot of people moving here really don't know that San Antonio actually has really high property taxes. So inside of the city limits, they're ranging anywhere from like 2.5 to 2.7%. And that's just kind of based off the appraised value of what your home's worth. So property taxes can be pretty high. If you go outside of the city, pretty much outside of 1604, they do start to drop down where you're like at 2.1 and even lower. If you go up to like Bernie, it even goes down to like 1.9 in some areas. So property taxes, no matter where you go, are going to be pretty high. But the great thing is if you're moving from like California, Washington, Oregon, coming really from like the East or West Coast, you're gonna see that home values are much lower. So even though property taxes are higher, you're gonna get more of a home from the price that you're at your price point that you're looking at. So it's gonna kind of even it out and make sure it's affordable for you.
Plus, there's no state tax.
Oh yeah, we don't have a state tax either, so helps save there as well.
All right, which brings us to the food. Oh man, so the food here is known for the Tex-Mex Mexican food. And I tell you, it makes you feel so bogged down. You end up getting really fat really quick, but it is absolutely delicious. I gotta tell you, it is absolutely delicious. I've traveled like all throughout the East Coast and some part of the West Coast, and some of the food over there, they have their own style of things, and like Florida has their like Cuban food and everything, all the different from Mediterranean and stuff like that, all the different types of food out that way. Louisiana, of course, they have their good food, but over here, like a lot of places, a lot of people I've met over on different states and everything, they always talk about the Mexican food here. And I have to say, it is absolutely delicious. Every time I travel, I always miss it when I'm gone. And when I come back, I have to get it. And that's just the way it is.
Yeah, so if you're really on a diet, you're trying to lose weight, trying to get back in shape, don't come to San Antonio because you're definitely going to eat a lot of this great food. It's just so amazing. You can't pass it up. We don't have a ton of like vegan shops or some of those health food stores, so it's kind of hard to find that. But you can order it online and stuff like that. But yeah, food here is really good, which can be a bad thing for some people.
Lots of discipline.
All right, so now we're gonna go into number 14, which is lots of tourism. So San Antonio is a huge tourism city. Like they actually have over like 20 million people a year coming through San Antonio because they love our river walk, they love that downtown. There's different sporting events that happen that brings in a lot of people. So you're gonna get a lot of people coming through downtown. Even during COVID, you didn't have that many people coming, but downtown was still pretty busy with a lot of tourism. People just don't want to pass up seeing the Riverwalk or the Alamo. Pee Wee Herman didn't like find the basement, by the way, but the people just don't want to pass that up. So don't go trying to find the basement. It's not there. But either way, with that tourism, it does bring in a great economy. So there's a lot of people coming in that bring in a lot of money into San Antonio. So if you're looking to start like a small business, maybe a little market, maybe a little shop, great place to do it, because you're gonna get a lot of people coming in from all over the world who's gonna buy something from your little shop, buy something from your little store. So great place to start a small business. Just if you don't like a lot of tourism, a lot of people coming in, yeah, it's probably not the place for you. But either way, that kind of wraps things up. Again, we went over 14 reasons why you shouldn't move to San Antonio, but you know what? San Antonio is a great place to live. Some of these things are bad, but you know what? It's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth putting up with some of these things, like the weather, for instance. It's hot, it's rainy, but you know what? I don't mind it at all, because I love this beautiful city. I love the people in this city, and I wouldn't pass it up or give it up for the world. And if you enjoy this content, please subscribe. Please like our page and share it. And if there's anything we can do for you, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Talk to you guys later. Have a great day.